Hello.
Hi.
I'm Gemma.
There are over 16,000 homeless people in the West Midlands. Gemma makes it a regular habit to engage with people living on the street or in shelters like this one.
Every day on Monday to Friday when I'm on my way to work, that's something that I will do, whether it's to stop and say hello or, do you want a cup of tea, coffee, whatever. And I do apologise, it's not a lot, but I've got some soup from my cupboard. And then I do what we call Johnny cakes. You can warm up the soup and then kind of dip the Johnny cake in the soup. I'm so sorry it's not a lot.
It's all right, don't worry about it. Bless you. So...
How did you find that then?
It's a lot smaller than where I live. But do you know what? It's so warm in here, it makes it really cosy.
What kind of stood out for you?
Your shower room is very small, isn't it? It's
How
tiny.
big is the shower room where you live?
So we have 5 bathrooms.
Oh, wow.
Awkward. Time to change the subject.
I like the coat.
Thank you.
Where's it from?
It's a Montclair coat. It was around £700.
£700 is a lot for a coat. I'm trying to be polite about it.
Once I've been able to have that much money to spend on a coat, I just thought, well, I can treat myself. So if I asked my dad for that, he'd literally laugh at me.
Really?
Yeah. So I just don't tell him how much I spend.
So does he know that £700?
No.
Well, he does now, but anyway.
So what's the most expensive clothing that you've bought?
I bought a pair of high heel shoes and they were £720.
Okay.
Okay. And what about jewellery? Because I love my jewellery.
I have a Rolex.
How much is the Rolex?
I think that was just under £3,000.
You just walked into a stereotype there, didn't you?
She's said that she owns her own business. You have that misconception that children nowadays do not have that kind of ambition. And to hear that from her, I'm sort of like, yes. I'm really looking forward to getting to know her some more.
So how do you manage to get by? What are your finances like?
So in terms of the household income, it's about 1,542. So after I've spent on rent, council tax, debts that are outstanding, electric, water, TV licence, food, nappies, and I'm left with £18. That's my...
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I'm left with.
I'm so shocked that she only has £18 left at the end of the month. There's no room for luxuries, treats, and I just feel so sorry for her. I just wouldn't think about £18 being significant. I'd spend that in 3 minutes on lunch.
At the moment, I'm fortunate to be working full-time.
Oh, that's good.
Hobby at the moment.
Yeah, unemployed. I want to provide for my family and all that stuff,
Yeah.
and I'm not doing it. So that part's a bit depressing.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
When Yinka said he'd been unemployed, I can imagine that puts a real strain on their relationship, financially and together. I think that's so hard.
Much to Jess's relief, Gemma's taking them out of the tiny flat to run a couple of errands nearby.
The place we're going to it's like a homeless shelter.
Okay.
No matter how little I have, there is someone that's always got less than I have. So whatever I can give, I will give.
That sounds good.
Hello.
Hi.
I'm Gemma.
There are over 16,000 homeless people in the West Midlands. Gemma makes it a regular habit to engage with people living on the street or in shelters like this one.
Every day on Monday to Friday when I'm on my way to work, that's something that I will do, whether it's to stop and say hello or, do you want a cup of tea, coffee, whatever. And I do apologise, it's not a lot, but I've got some soup from my cupboard. And then I do what we call Johnny cakes. You can warm up the soup and then kind of dip the Johnny cake in the soup. I'm so sorry it's not a lot.
It's all right, don't worry about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. No problem.
So how long have you guys been living here?
I've been around here now for about 6-7 months.
Okay.
Kept me out of prison, to be fair.
4 weeks myself.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
Since March.
Since March?
Yeah.
Okay.
When Gemma was 19, she relied on supported housing, so she knows how important it is for those in need.
So I've kind of come from a similar sort of background, so I get it. The one thing that I learned was never to forget where I've come from and the struggles that I've had.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not by any means rich like I'd want to be, but to me it's important to make sure that you still help everybody.
We appreciate it all the same, whether it's a little bit or a lot, we're all
What counts.
Thank you.
we still appreciate it.
Thank you.
Gemma's so close to living on the breadline, but she's so inspirational in the fact that she goes back to help people. She's so nice and so kind-hearted to do something like that. I definitely need to take a leaf out of her book.
At the moment, Jess and myself are kind of taking part in an exchange and kind of hoping that I can show Jess the lifestyle that I have.
I've come from a privileged background and I've never been in your position before, but I think we've learned, in a short amount of time, we've learned a lot from each other already.
You yourself, do you come from like a rich family?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you mean by privileged.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, some people have got it, ain't they? And some people ain't, you know.
I think for me, it's important to show that we are still the same.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just the circumstances that make us different.
You might have a big pile of cash and a big fancy house, but when it comes down to it, we're all the same.
We're all the same.
That's exactly it.
Well, that's the way I feel.
Well, guys, thank you for allowing us to come into your home, because this is your home.
Yeah.
You know, so thank you for allowing us. Well, I hope you guys, you know, whatever it is that you're planning to do in your life, that you know, you get there, that things will get better for you.
Yeah.
I really do hope so. Thank you again.
Thanks so much for having us.
Thank you.
For Jess, who spends nearly all of her earnings on herself, this has been an eye-opening experience.
So how did you find that?
So interesting. I think it's so nice that you do that. I definitely need to do something like that to contribute to society.
Even if you don't have the money, or even if you don't have the food, just to stop and say hello.
Yeah.
And sit down and have a conversation with them, to me, that's important.
Yeah. So I'm going to take a leaf out of your book and even just acknowledge them, say hello, and in the supermarket, give to a food bank, and just things like that. I think it's small things that make the biggest difference.
Absolutely, it's baby steps. It's not going to be something that's cured in a day, or do you know what I mean? But small steps. I think if everyone makes that little change, then hopefully we can progress to something, you know,
Yeah,
better.
definitely. I'd like to think so.
Next stop is a local charity shop. Unlike Jess, Gemma can barely afford high street brands, let alone luxury ones.
I'm hoping to find a purse, because I need a new purse and hopefully a dress as well. So this is a shop right here. Here we are.
Jess's outfit today cost her £2,500, which would buy the contents of that rail in front of her 80 times over.
Anything that's kind of taken your fancy?
I think that's a no.
I think you can find like really good clothing
Yeah.
at really, really cheap price, and you're getting to recycle. I think that's another aspect that people don't look at. But this, I am loving. I am loving this up here.
It's very jazzy.
It is.
Gemma also wants to show Jess that charity shops aren't just about finding bargains.
It's not just sort of like the cheap bargain. It's like you kind of get to donate to whatever charity they support in, as well as get an item, and you're kind of saving the environment as well. So to me, shopping in a charity store is important.
Okay. I didn't think of it being a really good way to recycle clothes, so she buys them to help save the environment, and I've never thought of it that way before.
So how much is your shoe collection worth?
I know I've got, in my Christian Louboutin collection, I've got over £2,000 worth.
How many pairs of shoes is that in total?
About 4 or 5.
Okay. Okay. So can you see any Christian, is it Louboutin? I don't,
Yeah.
Do you see any in here?
I don't think so, no.
It was worth a look.
So for people that, you know, are struggling financially, it is such a lifeline, especially when it comes to winter times as well.
Yeah.
It can actually buy the stuff that they need.
It's affordable all year round.
Absolutely, exactly. I took Jess to the charity shop because I think it's a good way to show how you can kind of contribute to the community with the money that you spend in there, but as well as that, you can kind of get a nice high fashion item.
Like this piece from the winter collection. So hot right now.
And not only that, you are kind of adding to recycling stuff, so it's beneficial to the environment and it's beneficial to the people within the community as well. And then as a treat for myself, I'm going to get that dress.
Why not?
Although big spender Jess didn't find anything to suit her tastes, Gemma found everything she wanted for under a tenner.